Hello and welcome to the Them Frames YouTube channel. I'm Dan Jin and today we're talking about the best camera to get you out of automatic mode and shooting manual. Now, quick disclaimer, I'm not sponsored by the manufacturer mentioned in this video. Not enough people watch for them to care about me. Spoiler alert, we're going to be talking about the Fujifilm flagship XT line. I am a fanboy. I'm a daily user of the Fujifilm XT2, so I can recommend this system both with experience and confidence. Now, I've got my Fujifilm XT2 here, and so we're not going to get into what manual mode is exactly and all the backstory and the tips and education on how to shoot in manual. There's a plethora of information out there through articles and YouTube videos. So go and do some research if you need to familiarize yourself with manual mode. Briefly, it is the exposure triangle, which is the relationship between three elements. That's the ISO, the shutter speed, and the aperture. Okay? So you're going to be learning about that, and you're going to be needing to understand how each of them impacts one another and what you need to do with changing one and changing the others to get not only the right exposure for your photograph, but the type of aesthetic that you want for your image, okay? So, why is Fujifilm's XT line the best camera and lens combo to get you shooting manual mode with relative ease without too much complication? Here's why. So a lot of digital cameras, they tend to have their settings and knobs kind of mixed between the body of the camera and the camera menu. So you'll often see that you can change your shutter speed or aperture through an unmarked dial, usually on the rear or the front of the camera, depending on what manufacturer you're using. And then things like ISO, you're going to have to go into your menu and you're going to have to fumble around and find out where your ISO is. You'll have to set that. If you want to change that, you'll then have to go back into your menu and kind of go all over the place so you can get the kind of exposure that you're looking for. With Fujifilm's XT line, the flagship XT line, they've modeled their cameras and lenses to emulate old school analog cameras. In fact, when I'm out and about shooting, a lot of people think this is an analog camera, and then I tell them no, I'm a digital dude because, film prices. And what that means is, on the top of the camera, you have a dedicated dial for your shutter speed, you have a dedicated dial for your ISO, and depending on what lens you're using, in this case I'm using the Fujifilm 35mm f2, you also have a manual aperture ring. So when you move that from anywhere between f2 right through to f16, all you have to do is this and your aperture will change accordingly. You turn your knobs on your shutter speed and you set your shutter speed, same with the ISO. And it's right there, it's in front of your eyes, it's visual. You don't have to go into your menu and move, you don't have to set your aperture and then think, oh wait, no, I have to go in and I need to change my ISO, I need to change my shutter speed, and then you're looking in your viewfinder to see what shutter speed you're at. You can see it right here. You can just look down, set it, and then go. Now, of course, when you're learning manual mode, there's going to be a lot of trial and error, and you're going to have to get used to it. But it's about making that process as easy as possible. And just by looking down, you're able to see all your numbers, you're able to simplify things, you're able to kind of feel that change and really connect to it, as silly as that may sound. But it does make a difference, especially when you're learning and when you're starting out. And that's why, simply put, I believe the XT flagship line is the best one. Now there's 5 cameras to choose from. This is the XT2, but you've got from the XT1 right through to the XT5. What you shouldn't get it confused with is the baby XT line, which is the XT10 right through to the XT30 Mark II, because although very similar in design, you don't get the dedicated ISO dial. You're going to have to be going into your menu. You can program it for your dial, but you're still not getting that visual. So while you're still finding your feet, it may just complicate things a little bit, and that's what you want to try and avoid. So yeah, that's it really. A very simple, effective camera and lens combination that's just gonna make it a little bit easier. Just take a little bit of that learning curve off when you're learning how to get out of auto and into manual mode. Now don't be fooled, even though the X-T5 is the most recent camera, if you are on a budget and you can't splash out $1,700 or $1,800 right now just for a camera body, you can go right back to the X-T1 and you'll still get great image quality. It's a 9-year-old camera, but it's got great image quality. It might not have some of the features that you'll see in more recent iterations of the lineup, but it's still a wonderful camera, as is the X-T2, the X-T3. So you want to invest in that, and yeah, that's it. That's why I believe Fujifilm's flagship XT line is the best camera system to get you out of auto and into manual. Guys, what do you think is the best system? Do you agree with me? Let me know in the comments below. Tell me what system you use. Tell me if you've got any questions regarding manual mode. I'll be more than happy to answer them. Also, hit a like and subscribe, because YouTube has this thing where it's like, oh, if people are liking and subscribing, then maybe other people are, and everyone's happy, mainly me, only me. So I'd really appreciate that. Until next time, see ya.